Good. So we are talking in the South African context again, just to be clear, it's lockdown 21. We're talking about working on our business over the remainder of lockdown. And what I'm putting forward to you this afternoon is a very clear list of 13 actions designed to move your business from a survival space through to a thriving space. So let's look at why that is important. I have, over the past week, in fact, more than week, maybe the last 2 weeks or so, really come to a realization that we are seeing three types of people or three types of businesses operating within this time of crisis. And the first business description that I've come up with is nosedive. So who are the nosedivers? The nosedivers are the ones who are operating from the position of, let's see where this goes and what we need to do after the storm. There are people who are handling this crisis. I don't know where my clients are. I don't know what my customers are doing. I don't know what my competitors are doing. And I really believe the world is in complete shutdown. And so as soon as the engine starts up again, there I will be, and I will start marketing. I will start moving my product to my customers or my clients. And I'm not including in this space those people who are absolutely excluded from working. In other words, those people who literally physically cannot do anything, cannot move product, cannot provide a service. However, that still does not mean that there is nothing that they can do to ensure their business comes out ahead of where they went in. So those are the nosedivers. Okay, and we are typically seeing them operating under the handle of "this too shall pass." Well, yes, it will pass. No doubt it will pass. The question is how ready you are for it when that passing happens. We all will pass, but does that mean that we sit on the sofa and wait for our day of passing to come? No, we have a life to live and we get out there and do it. And it's absolutely the same in business. The second group then are the survivors, those who are really happy with where they are financially right now. They have the capability, they have the wherewithal to just kind of hang in there. They've got the finances to ride out the bumps, and they're very focused on where their business is now. And what's quite important is that they maintain that focus and they maintain that level of business operation. And they're very much of the mindset that, you know what, we'll come out of this okay. We should be okay. We might come out a little bit short of where we were before, but anything other than us closing down our business right now is an absolute win. And so just in the positioning, so that it's clear, just the positioning of who are the survivors, it's these guys right on the edge of the cliff. They're literally on there with just like 1 foot in a safety zone. As I say, we're going to come out of this maybe a little bit short of where we went into the challenging period. But as long as we don't close down, as long as we still have a business at the end of this, we're in a really, really good space. And then there are the thrivers. The thrivers are the ones who are really positioning themselves to make the best of the situation. The ones who are finding the opportunities, the ones who are keeping their engines going, and the ones who are finding the things that can be done, not now, but in the future, at the end of the 16th of April or whatever lockdown period ends. These are the ones who are positioning themselves to impact their industry, their business, their customers. They're asking the questions, what are the opportunities for us in this? Even if I'm not able to deliver my usual service or my product, what are the opportunities for me in this? What does the future look like? That is an absolutely critical question. At the moment, we are all operating on the basis that the 16th of April in South Africa is our exit from lockdown. Not to be the harbinger of doom, but what happens if that is not the exit of lockdown? What happens if, for whatever reason, our lockdown period is extended? And this would account for any other crisis type, whether it's a financial crisis nationally, globally, or even just a crisis in your business. What does that exit point look like? Because when we look ahead, we start to put our minds in a space of longevity. We start putting ourselves in a space of growth, because what's really, really important is we recognize that at no point have we yet reached a new normal. And I want to seriously advise people to resist the concept or the notion that we are already in a new normal, because we're not. New normal will come once we're out of this. This is a period of change. It's a period of transition. And yes, this too shall pass, but it shall pass because of the fact that it's transient. It shall not pass because we are making it pass. It is a seasonal thing. So we will get through this. And at the end of it, we will start to define a new normal. Well, here's the reality. The thrivers, the people who come out ahead of themselves, i.e. where their business was, their competition, and their customers' demands, these are the people who will set the rules of the game that we play as businesses and within our industries after this. The thrivers are the ones who will determine the pace at which normalization happens, and they will determine the pace at which we deliver into the new market. So it is really, really important that we straight off the bat, identify for ourselves where we are from a mindset point of view. Are we nosedive? Are we survive? Or are we thrive? And that's why I say I'm working on the assumption that everybody on this call this afternoon is in a thrive space. And that's the direction that we're going to follow. Okay, I'm going to pause, quick check-in. Anybody have a question? Anybody have a comment that they would like to pass? Just take yourself off mute, and I'll give you that opportunity. Nope? Good. Okay, then we are moving on. All right. So we are talking about survive to thrive, moving our businesses into that space. I'm calling this home fun items. Why am I calling it home fun items? Because right now we're all actually working from home. So it would be a bit boring to call it home work, right? I mean, we're already working, so let's have a little bit of fun while we're at home anyway. And so these are home fun items for working on your business, designed to drive your business from survive to thrive. All the way through up to now, you've probably been working in your business, making things happen, delivering to your clients, working in a marketing space, etc., etc. Now is the time to be setting or to take opportunity of the fact that you have the time available to work on your business. So here's the first one. And you might look at this and go, why? Why on earth am I needing to look at a dream chart? So the dream chart is all about reframing what your desire is in life. Your life right now has been turned upside down. You are in a space where you weren't 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. Literally a month back, you were out in the sunshine doing all of the great things, working on your business, working in your business. There was this big global thing that was happening around a virus that was impacting everybody else. But at that point, it didn't particularly impact your business, most likely. Now your world has changed. You are now sharing the reality of a lot of other businesses and a lot of other people around the globe. And so how that impacts potentially how you see your life. A lot of us are spending more time with our own company, as in personal, not business, spending more time in our own company and spending more time with our families. And now is actually the time to rediscover the why of why you have a business, why you do what you do, why you spend all of that time working in your business and trying to make a success of it. Now is the perfect time to actually reconnect with the real foundation of what your business serves in your life. And the reason for that is very simple. Again, as I say, it sets the foundation because everything we do starts from the plan we have for ourselves. So when we look at our businesses, the first sort of mind shift that I'd like you to get to, and some of you will have seen me speak about this earlier in the week, we start with a plan for our life plan. Our life plan determines the shape that our business needs to take and what our business needs to deliver for us. So from our life plan comes our business plan. And from our business plan, knowing what it is that we need the business to deliver in order to feed our life dreams and our life ambitions, we now know who we need to target and where our business comes from. What do we call that? That's our marketing plan. So the progression is very simple. Define the life plan in order to define the business plan, in order to define the marketing plan. Work the marketing plan so that it builds the business according to the business plan, which in turn builds and helps to achieve your life ambition. So your dream chart here is an absolutely crucial step, number one, but it's also a really fun step. And if you do have a family around you, it's an ideal opportunity to share with them what your vision, what your dreams for your life and your business are, and how that connects with theirs. So it's a really good opportunity to connect the life ambition with the business ambition, because those two really need to work together to bring quality and value of life together. So some people do call it a vision board. Think of it as a collection of dreams. Think of it as a North Star, as a direction, as something that you look at when you need a little bit of inspiration. I always very gladly share mine with my clients. And this is what my dream chart looks like, my vision chart. It's a little bit tattered because I haul it out quite often, look at it, move things around. It walks with me certain places at some time. So that's why that's the foundation, the dream chart. From the dream chart, we move on to our vision. And our vision, again, is critically important. So let me again address, you might be looking at this and going, hang on, I'm wanting my business to thrive after the 16th of April. What does vision have to do with it? Well, very simply, again, this is foundational stuff, guys. This is about setting direction and maintaining your North Star. Why do I do what I do? What is the purpose behind my business? What is my purpose in life? Remember, I've defined my dream chart. What is my purpose in life? And what is it that I want to achieve? BHAG, what is my big, hairy, audacious goal? What is that one thing that scares the heck out of me that I really want to achieve, but I'm so passionate about it? It's bigger than I am. It's bigger than I am right now. It's probably even bigger than my business. And in fact, when I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I wake up screaming because I think there's just no way I'm going to be able to achieve that. It's just so big. That's your big, hairy, audacious goal. Why do you wake up screaming at 3 o'clock in the morning? Because it's a challenge, but it's the reason you get up at 6 or 5. It's the reason you get up and you energize yourself and you go out there and try and make things work for you. So my advice to you is, at this stage, use the quiet time, whether you've already set a vision or whether you still need to set a vision. Use the quiet time to go into that space and say, why am I doing? Maybe you're revisiting what that vision looks like. Maybe you're now needing to take the time to actually set that vision, to really put something down on paper and pursue it. The important thing between the dream chart and the vision is, if they're not on paper, guys, they don't exist. It's as simple as that. If something's in your head, it stays in your head. It's not something you think about every single day. You might pop in every now and again, but it's not something that is front and center. Why? Because unfortunately, and one or two of the ladies on the call might actually string me up for this, but truth of the matter is, multitasking is a myth. We cannot hold more than 2 ideas or more than 1 idea in our head at the same time. So when we focus on something, that's what we're doing. Everything else moves into the background. So if your vision or your dream chart is not something that is stuck up on a wall in your office, is not something that is stuck to your notebook, is not something that is written down in black and white, it is not something that you will focus on every single day. So set your dream chart, set your vision, make sure that that is something you are able to see wherever you turn every single day. Because if it's not in black and white, if it's not in writing, it never happened and it will never happen. So that is absolutely important. It also brings you back to a point, particularly around the why, the purpose, and the big, hairy, audacious goal. It brings you back to the point of what sets you apart from everybody else. So yes, you might be one of 15 estate agents in your area. You might be one of 25 tour operators in your province. But what sets you apart? Why do people come back to you? Why would you want people to come back to you? We're starting to set a differentiating tone for our business. So let me be clear on this point. Vision is not about the black and white words that are on the wall. Vision is about giving a concrete form to your passion. It is the thing that it also sets your North Star, and is the thing that you are able to share with your team, whether you don't have a team yet or whether you are going back to a team. It is the thing that shares your purpose with your team. At the same time, if you are a business that doesn't yet have a team, how do you build a team? How do you structure a team when you're not clear on the vision for your business? You would not bring people into your business who don't share the vision, who can't see the vision, and who, more importantly, can't help you enable and achieve that vision. So setting the vision is an absolutely important part of the foundation of your business. From there, we get to point number 3, which is learning and development. And learning and development is about your learning and your development. You have the time. You have the time now to work on your business. You have the time to grow your skills. You have the time to enable your life vision into a business enabler, developing business skills, developing yourself, developing your team if you have a team, and also developing your knowledge around business and running businesses. So this is not just about, I finally have the time to now finish that puzzle, or I finally have the time to read the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. It's not that kind of time. It's not that kind of reading. Now is the time for you to invest in your growth, your learning, and your development. And again, what does this have to do with building a thriving business? This is about you upskilling yourself. This is about you creating a point of action. This is about you coming out a stronger leader, a stronger business person than when you went into this lockdown period. And what you learn at this point helps enable the growth of your business and the thriving of your business towards the end of lockdown and beyond. Okay, so again, it's foundational. It's the basis of learning. It's the basis of growth. We always say the only place where earn comes before learn is in the dictionary. You have to learn before you can earn. It is absolutely as simple as that. And you have to learn before you can grow. It's how as babies we learn to walk, right? We took a step, we fell down. We got up, we took another step, we fell down. We got up, we took another step. Eventually, we were able to put one foot in front of the other because we learned and we developed the skill to move. So right now, all that has happened is you've fallen down, or the world has fallen down around you. Now is the time to get up and take the next step and learn from that step and continue to learn and continue to develop and continue to grow. So momentum is an absolute key thing here. And that is a habit that I'd like you to take, not just during lockdown, but out of lockdown as well. Keep that as a 30, 60 minute a day, just growth habit, learning habit, to really just help you develop. So the first 3 points that I've spoken about have been really, really foundational stuff. If you don't mind me just taking a sip. The first 3 points have been very foundational. They're very much about setting the basis, putting yourself in a good position to now be able to take your business to the next level. And here's where we start to actually map out what that looks like. And here's where we start to set that picture. Point number 4, you might look at and wonder, well, why is that there? Very simply, this is your business dream chart. This is your business direction. This is your organizational chart. It's not your now chart. It's your chart 3 years from now. It might even be your chart at the end of this year. This talks about, based on the business that I have a vision for, what are the capabilities I need in place? What is the infrastructure I need in place to be able to deliver on the business challenges, the business dreams that I am looking to achieve? So it's not about who's working for you now. It's about who you need to work for you in the future in order to fulfill the purpose of your business and the dream that you had. So in sketching out your org chart, it's about if I'm looking to run a multi-million rand business, then I need a finance director. I need an operations director. I need 3 departments that deal with sales. Maybe one is direct sales. Maybe one is a marketing department, and maybe one is a sales operations, sales effectiveness, for example. And then I need my fulfillment areas. Who is actually building up my capacity and my capability to be able to deliver what it is that I deliver as my business. So building the capacity, building the organizational structure that helps you achieve your big, hairy, audacious business goal. Now is the time to set that up. Because once you get back into the normal swing of things, typically you're not going to have the opportunity to do that. So here I want to talk very quickly about, often my clients ask me, or we have a challenging discussion around, if my plan is to grow my business, does that growth happen organically? In other words, it's typically the conversation of, when I get that contract, I will put the people in place to do the work. When I get that contract, I will build this, I will do that. And the reality of it is that at that stage, it's too late. At that stage, the opportunity has already knocked on the door, and you're either in a position to answer it, or you're going to have to walk away from the opportunity, or it becomes the opportunity that sinks your business because you're not geared for it. Your systems aren't ready, your people aren't ready, your capacity isn't ready. So my advice is always, growth that is unplanned is not good growth. Growth that is unplanned is detrimental to your business. If you want your business to grow, you need to plan for the growth. And that means step by step by step, you control the rate of growth so that you can control how your business responds to that growth. And that's why something like an org chart is absolutely vital to be able to determine what that growth looks like. Think of it this way as well. If you are going back into your business environment at the end of lockdown and you have a vision for your business, based on the staff structure that you already have, immediately you can walk into your business on day one, back in the usual world, and already start to have development discussions with your team based on where you know your organizational capacity needs to go. Why is that important? Because your competitors aren't. Your competitors are not having those conversations. And remember, you're in the thriving space, not in the nosediving space, and not in the surviving space. The reality of it is the nosedivers and the survivors are going to come out behind the curve. Somebody needs to pick up the gap and the slack that is going to be presented in the market, and that is going to be the thrivers. So the mindset around that is absolutely important, but even more important than that is the preparedness to take advantage of those opportunities. So even if that means, let's take an Amazon, for example. In this time, Amazon brought on another 100,000 people just to handle the growth in online sales. That's insane. Who employs 100,000 people at a time when everybody else is scaling back? Why? Because Amazon is a leader. They're a thriver. They're seeing the opportunities. And yes, there have been some issues with that, make no mistake, but the preparation for outstripping the competition and taking advantage of opportunities, because customers are now behind closed doors. They're online. They may not be able to get deliveries, but they can window shop, they can pre-purchase, and those are the opportunities that are being taken advantage of. So setting your org chart, one, it tests your vision, but two, it also stretches your thinking. So it starts to pull 1, 2, and 3 together in a way that really impacts the business in a real-time fashion. So let's talk e-commerce. Point number 5. E-commerce is something that has been around for a while. It is something that most businesses probably have resisted, but it is the new reality. It is a changing reality. We are most likely seeing that people's commercial behavior, their shopping behavior, is drastically changing. That's not to say that everybody is suddenly rushing out and buying things online, but it is making people think about, how do I purchase things in a much more effective way, much more efficient way? If this is something that is going to carry on for a longer period of time, how do I manage this? So yes, you might say to me, well, actually, I can't e-commerce because I manufacture widgets. So I can't exactly transact widgets through through the internet. Well, actually, you can. Your order process can work as long as your back-end delivery is in place. So, by the same token, how do you book tours online? How do you book photo shoots online? We've had lots of discussions with our estate agent colleagues around how they manage show houses, sales, buyer anxiety, seller anxiety, etc., in an online type of environment. So the opportunities are there. And again, I don't have a silver bullet, or I can't offer you a silver bullet on this, but I am provoking the thought, and it is something that potentially I can work through with you in terms of how we move into that space. The one point I want to make around e-commerce as well is that it's not e-commerce purely for the sake of e-commerce. So don't think of e-commerce just as a transactional space. Think of e-commerce as a virtual space, because not every transaction has to happen online, but potentially online showrooms, online and virtual experiences that help your customers make decisions around your service, around your product. If you're a destination marketing organization, virtual experiences, we've already started seeing that with Tokyo 2020, with the Olympics. People have been given experiences of the city online even before they get there, in order to help them decide on travel packages to book, as an example. So the virtual environment is very closely related to the e-commerce environment. And the mistake we mustn't make is that we think of e-commerce as being just a transactional space. We have to think of it as an experience space, where we can use techniques like virtual showrooms, etc. So it is about thinking about what of your services and your product can you present in an online space. And here I'm going to tip a hat to Larry, actually, as well as the customer excellence specialist, and start to ask the question, if I am moving into a virtual environment or an e-commerce space, what do I need to do to ramp up my business to deliver exceptional customer service in an online environment, for example?
Don't use the pack of mints unless you have to.
Sorry, I just need to mute someone. Okay. All right. So that brings us from e-commerce, and we're going into digital footprint as a natural extension of that. Do people know where to find you? Do people know how to find you? How do you make it easy for people to engage with your business and for people to engage with your offering? So that's one of the questions we ask under e-commerce. But on the digital footprint side of things, it's about, what does the digital world say about you? I'll ask the question of who's Googled themselves. Yeah, I have. And in fact, I have seen in the last 2 to 3 weeks, I've seen a significant shift in my digital footprint. I unfortunately happen to share a name with someone who I believe is a rugby player. I believe there's another Brendan who's a rugby player. And when I've Googled myself previously, I have typically found that his name is in the first 5 or 6 search results that come out. Guess what? He's nowhere to be seen on page 1 of Google results when I Google myself. Why? Because my activity over the last while has significantly ramped up. My Facebook presence, my LinkedIn presence, my website presence, my media presence significantly ramped up. Sorry, and I'm now finding that I am ranked much higher in my Google search results. In fact, I dominate page 1 of search results for Brendan Botha when you Google. And yes, I'm there on page 2, and I'm even there on page 3, and then I kind of start to filter and fade out. So when you go and look at, but I am back there in page 10, by the way. So yeah, it is peppered all the way through. So when you start to look and say, what is my digital footprint? How effective am I in the market from my digital marketing point of view? You then start to get a sense of, what do I need to ramp up? So what are we talking about now? We're talking about marketing. Between e-commerce and marketing, we're talking about how we're presenting our offering to our customers. How are we making it easier for them to find us? How are we making it easier for them to buy our product? So again, this is something that is consistent whether we're in a crisis period or not, but it is something that now becomes absolutely crucial. Why? Again, because people are spending more time online. People have more time available. They're spending more time online researching certain things. You may find that we come out of this with a far more informed consumer than we went into the process. Why? Because people have had the opportunity to search for alternatives. And if your business is not one of the alternatives that is coming up in their search process, you're losing out to a competitor. By the same token, if your competitors are not in the alternatives that they are coming up with, they're losing out to you. So which position would you rather be in? The one being lost out to, or the one who's losing out on the opportunity? So take the time to find what your digital footprint looks like. Ensure that you are correcting anything that is incorrect out there in your digital footprint, and make sure that you are easy to find. And bear in mind that it might be necessary for you to now re-educate your customers. Your customers are sitting in a different pond potentially, and you may need to re-educate them about how to do business with you. And one of the easiest ways to do that is in an online environment. So that's on the digital side. It's also worthwhile in that space just looking at what else comes up as an associated result. It's a great opportunity to now also do some research on your competitive environment, not to obsess with it, but do some research on the competitive environment and see where you rank, how you rank, what reviews are being written about your competitors, and what reviews are being written about you, if any. And maybe now is the time to actually start ramping that up. Again, this is a marketing effort. This is not a let me do this because I'd like to have a website or I'd like to have a Facebook presence. This is absolutely crucial digital marketing space in order to deliver growth into your business. So that said, one of the other things that it is absolutely crucial to do is getting to know your clients. And again, you might look at this and say, how does getting to know my clients help me get through this particular process? Well, remember, it's not about getting through, it's about actually thriving. And when we're talking about getting to know your clients, we're talking about understanding what your clients think about your business. Why do they buy from you? Why do they come back? What is in your business, either your service or your product, that they deem to have value? And this is an absolutely perfect opportunity to match what your clients think about your business to what your vision is. You might have a vision of your business to be a particular thing, to deliver in a particular way, and to operate in a particular niche and work according to a certain value proposition. Getting to know what your clients think about you gives you the opportunity to understand whether in fact they're connecting with your vision. Are they connecting with your niche? Are you selling what they want? Are they buying what you're selling, or are they buying a completely different set of values that you may not even be aware of? Once you have discovered that, think about the opportunities that you now have to redirect your business in a way that directly connects with the emotional points and the wants and needs of your customers. And the more you can connect with the wants and needs of your customers, the greater opportunity there is that they will continue to buy from you or buy from you again, whether it's a service or whether it is a product. So that absolute connection with your clients is critical. It is absolutely vital. It's also important to understand who your clients are. And yes, there is knowing your clients and customers, but there's also knowing who they are. What do I mean by that? There are those who come back and buy from you time and time and time again. Those are your prime fish. They're your prized koi in the koi pond, right? Why? Because they know you, they like you, and they trust you. And because of those three elements, they will come back to you time and time again. That doesn't mean that you can abuse them, but it means that you understand, or you need to get to understand, the value proposition that you need to offer them to maintain that relationship. But also understand that because of everything we've spoken about in terms of e-commerce digital footprint, these might be some of the people that you now need to re-educate about how to work with your business if your business is going to operate in a different way or operate on a different platform. Because what you don't want to do is now alienate your existing customers and end up actually losing them. Some of them you might lose temporarily during this time anyway, because their businesses are going through bad times, or financially they're going through bad times, and they might just not be able to buy from you. But what you don't want to do is alienate them. You don't want to push them away. So look for those things where you can arrange deals for your clients. You can re-educate them. You may, as I say, need to re-educate your fish. But more importantly, you also need to feed your fish pond. So you need to look after those fish, those customers who are already with you. And that is absolutely critical. Why? Because it costs you less to acquire and do business with existing clients than what it costs you to acquire brand new clients. So those ones who are already in your fish pond are the ones you need to look after, and the ones you need to work towards increasing your business with as we come out of the lockdown process. That is an absolutely quick win. Your world is changing, their world has changed, and will continue to change. And in many instances, you may be the one source of consistency that makes sense in their world and will continue to make sense. So ensure that you're in a position to be able to take advantage of that and to continue with that. So I think it's also important when you look at your clients, is that you fully understand the what brings them back. And let's not underestimate the fact that a very simple phone call creates a contact between you and an existing customer. It gives you research opportunity, but it also puts you back top of mind with them as well. So it is part of a marketing preparation, part of preparing your market to be able to sell to and for them to buy from you as we get through this process. So a lot of this, for example, we might be starting to talk about pre-sales. How do you pre-sell opportunities? How do you pre-sell services? How do you pre-sell product so that as we come out of lockdown, you're in a position to be able to deliver, not to market, not to sell, but to deliver. And that's part of the thriving mindset. It's part of the thriving direction as well. As you determine what your clients want and need from you, it also puts you in a position to be able to determine which of your products and services are relevant, which have lost relevance with customers and clients over the last while, and which of them have continued to be relevant or even more relevant than others. And the urge here is that you focus on those that are absolutely delivering value, delivering revenue, that are selling, and therefore are creating better opportunities for revenue. As you do this, it also puts you in a position to be able to preempt what the new normal looks like. Those services that are redundant, those products that are redundant, they're not going to sell. If they haven't sold previously, chances are they're not going to sell now. Or into the future either. So focus on those that bring in revenue, scale down service, business, product, etc., to service the ones that do work and that will work. We are also talking about preempting a new normal. Remember what I said in the beginning. The thrivers are the ones who will set the rules of business, who will set the rules of the games that we play when we come out of lockdown. So being able to position certain products, certain services as a standard in your industry, as a thriver, is going to put you in a position to be able to create demand for those products and services. Yeah, with the fact that we're in change, we're in a new sort of reality space now. It's the perfect opportunity to either transition the business into a new product and service set, to abandon things that didn't work, or to introduce new offerings that sets you apart from the competitors. And here it's very simply the term of, if you're doing something different in your sector or in your industry, is remember that whoever names it, claims it. Let me use a silly example here. Let's take Castle Lager. Absolutely, in my opinion, the worst beer ever made. Doesn't taste like anything. So what did Castle Lager do? They've marketed the product on the basis of ultra cold. Okay, so apart from our colleagues on the call who are from the UK, we don't drink warm beer. Warm beer is not a thing. But Castle Lager managed to build an entire product offering and an entire marketing campaign on something that we do anyway. We drink ice cold beer. And the reason they did that is because the colder the beer, the less the taste, and therefore you don't actually taste how bad of a beer it actually is. All objections, spoken and unspoken, duly noted. But that is an example of a brand like Castle Lager claiming the space of ultra cold, and everybody else who follows on that is simply a Me Too marketer. Okay, so in the revision and provision of new products and services, we also get to the point of how are we making these available to our customers, to our clients. And literally what we need to be doing here is moving from a basic marketing 101, to you becoming a super PhD in marketing. And I don't mean needing to be a marketing guru. I mean that marketing is the thing that you do. Possibly one of the most eye-opening realizations for many business owners is that they don't sell what they think they sell. Every single business is a marketing organization, and the most successful businesses are marketing organizations. Let's look at Discovery. I need somebody to please explain to me what Caster Semenya has to do with banking. I love Caster. I think she's an awesome athlete, but what does she have to do with banking? Discovery Health has now gone into the banking environment. They're marketing it like there's no tomorrow, selling it through endorsements, right? It's a banking service, but everything that Discovery does is done off a marketing platform, whether it is your gym membership and health, whether it is the medical aid, whether it is now the new banking service. They have built a marketing engine that sells to a need that customers believe they have. Why? Because they've been told that they have that need. The needs in most instances don't exist, but they've been developed. Discovery has named it, therefore they can claim it. And it literally is as simple as that. So what is there within your business that you can PhD from a marketing point of view, that you can absolutely drive home to your customers, that separates you from your consumers, from your competitors? So you might look at me and say, but I'm not a marketing person. Absolutely, I get that. Not everybody is. But remember, once again, you're not in a survival mode, you're in a thriving mode. And if you want your business to grow and thrive, you have to do what needs to be done in order for you to have the success that you are looking for. One thing that has become really obvious to me over the last couple of weeks is that just to maintain requires enormously additional effort. to what we were doing before from a business point of view. So therefore, in order to thrive, we need an inordinate amount of effort, even above that, to just achieve. And here's where the differentiate, sorry, not to just achieve, to thrive. And here's where the differentiator comes in. Not everybody's prepared to put that effort into their business. And those are the guys who are the nosedivers and the survivors, not the thrivers. If your business is not geared to take up the opportunities that come out at the end of this, then you are not going to be in a position to pick up on the opportunities that they will drop, that they will not be able to follow up on, because organizationally they're not in a position to do that. So we are, make no mistake, in a position here of deselection. Certain businesses are going to make it through this tough time. Other businesses aren't. And the other businesses, the thrivers, as I say, are the ones who are going to set the tone and the rules of the game that we play from that point on. So it's important to understand that the later you leave your marketing, the later you're going to reap benefits. If you are not marketing as of today, as of tomorrow, if you're not marketing every single day through the course of this lockdown, and you only start marketing once we come out of lockdown, understand that you have created a gap in your revenue stream that you will not be able to recover for at least a month to 2 months after coming out of lockdown. So it is important that through your marketing, you're building a lead generation pipeline that you can exploit between now and the end of lockdown, so that as we come out of lockdown, you're in a position to provide, to supply goods, services, product, whatever it is that you specialize in doing. That is what is going to get you ahead of the curve. Okay, going into sort of the last 3 or 4 points in the action plan is reviewing your financials. As you go through your marketing plan, you're going to be looking at things like, what am I doing during lockdown? What am I doing for the next 3 months from lockdown and beyond? And what does my annual marketing plan look like? In order to achieve that, you need a strong financial base. So I'm encouraging you, go in, look at what your expenditure looks like for the last year, the last 12 months rolling, and quite importantly, the last 3 months, the first quarter of this year. Look at where you spent money, how you spent money, what has that brought into your business, what has borne fruit, what has not borne fruit. We're now in a space where we need to throw out the old financial assumptions that we've made, either based on our marketing, based on our sales projections. We need to be planning for a new world, whatever that new world might look like. So reviewing financials is absolutely crucial at this point, because you need a new financial reality to be able to manage your business according to. So it's also a fantastic opportunity for you to go back and revisit some of the deals that you may have made with suppliers. Everybody is looking for business, so therefore the opportunities to potentially get better deals from existing suppliers is absolutely real. Net result, you're a thriver who's setting the rules of the game. You're setting opportunities for yourself to build better terms with those suppliers and actually gain financial advantage coming out of these times. The next point is standard operating procedures. Take the time to write down, if you haven't already, take the time to write down what it is that makes your business work. We're talking here about systems. We're not talking about Windows. We're not talking about iOS. We're talking about the systems that drive our businesses. We talk about 80% of our business should be systemized for the normal, and 20% of our business should be systemized or humanized actually for exceptions. So here is you wanting your engine to be running as smoothly as possible. And what I really want to encourage people to do is, at this point, test your systems. I cannot tell you how many businesses I've spoken to in the last while that goes, well, our teams are working remotely. Everybody's working very well. Things are still coming together quite nicely. Everybody's still absolutely able to deliver. Week 1, I buy that. Week 2, possibly. Week 3, we're going to start seeing cracks. As we start exiting the honeymoon phase of people being at home, people become fatigued. It becomes a psychological challenge to remain focused, to remain absolutely aligned to the vision of the business, to remain absolutely aligned to the procedures that we're working to. And the challenge in that space is that people get divorced from the mothership. And because they get divorced from the mothership, they tend to not deliver in the same way that they used to. So why is this important? Because your teams, your people, for those of you who have people, they are the ones who service your customers. Therefore, they are the ones who look after your customers. And because they look after your customers are prepared to pay for your product and your service. And when your customers pay, they are servicing your business. Your customers service your business. They provide you with your revenue. They provide you with your livelihood. They provide you with the means by which your business plan services your life plan. And that is absolutely crucial if you want to come out into a thriving space in this time of crisis. So yeah, that's the systems conversation, and absolutely crucial that you get that nailed down. So what you may find is that some things you thought wouldn't work are now working, and some things that you were uber confident would work are no longer working. So again, what can you throw out? What can you revise? What can you re-gear to make happen in a much more effective way than what you possibly were doing before? Declutter and reorganize is point 12. Very simply, this is about scaling down and scaling back. This is about creating focus in your space. This is about creating the opportunity for growth to happen. If you are still maintaining the old ways of doing things, if you are still maintaining old stock counts, dead wood in your business, for want of a better term, if we're talking about some of your teams, now is the time to declutter and reorganize. And again, disclaimer, I'm not advocating retrenchments, layoffs, anything like that. I'm talking about take out what doesn't work, reorganize it in such a way that it delivers for you effectively. That is the only way you are going to get your business geared up to take advantage of opportunities coming through. Look at those things that are redundant items. If you've got old stock, get rid of them, sell them off at a next to nothing cost that creates an opportunity for you to engage with your customers, use them as value adds in what it is that you're presenting to your customers, and use that as an opportunity to engage. Use it as part of your marketing engine. Redundant stock that you're giving away, services that you are no longer using, that you are able to pass on. These are things that you can leverage to create a social responsibility program, an opportunity to build awareness, to build brand equity. Use those opportunities. There is value in decluttering. There is value in reorganizing. It is creating space for growth. And then the final point that I want to make in this is ensure you have an action plan for reopening. In South Africa, we're targeting the 16th of April as the end of our lockdown. What does your world look like on the 17th of April? What are you doing on that day? What revenue are you generating on the 17th of April? Not doors that you are reopening. What revenue are you generating? What revenue have you generated between now and the 17th of April? What have you pre-sold? What have you pre-positioned with your customers to be able to deliver stock, to be able to deliver service, to be able to deliver product? What is your marketing engine delivered from a lead generation point of view that allows you to hit the ground absolutely running, and not in a nosedive, but absolutely running for takeoff on that 17th of April? So the crucial point here is, yeah, some might have been taking a holiday up to now. That doesn't matter. What matters is what you do with your time from this point on over the next 2 weeks to be able to continue a successful business, build a thriving business. And maybe even if your business wasn't that successful going into this, now is the time that you can use this opportunity to build an absolutely successful one, coming out of the lockdown scenario and taking advantage of new opportunities, the new normal that is coming, but not to be waiting for the new normal to come, but to set the tone of the new normal and to start defining what that new normal looks like for your business, for your customers, for your industry, for your sector. So the question is, if you haven't done anything up to now, what have you been waiting for? The only ones who are waiting are the nosedivers. The only ones who are waiting are the ones who need to start on the 17th of April. And that is already too late. Because as our good friend Yoda says, we either do or we do not. There is no try. We're not here to nosedive. We're not here to survive. We are here to absolutely thrive. The last thing I want to leave you with is, if you have any questions around your marketing, your systems conversations, your finances, hop over to my website. It's Brendan Botha at brendanbotha.actioncoach.com. So it's BREHNDANBOTHA at actioncoach.com. It's what you see on your screen. And I've got a little tool on there called a business health check. And it'll take you through 4 areas of questions in your business. It's not a questionnaire as such. It asks very specific questions around your teams, your marketing, your systems, etc. And at the end of it, it'll spit out a score that gives you a sense of just how healthy your business actually is. And I'm more than happy to talk through that with you once you've done that. All right, everybody, that is everything I wanted to talk about this afternoon. We're pretty much an hour on from where we started. So I am going to step out of presentation mode